Today, I just want to take a short little break from our regularly scheduled programming to discuss the conflict that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, because things have been heating up over the past couple of days, literally. Now, as I reported to you all in a past video, the UK and France, they've been having these meetings, and they've been talking about sending troops to Ukraine. So, as we're in this period where we're hoping a ceasefire or some sort of peace deal can be worked out, the UK and France are beating on their chest and talking a lot of tough talk that they can't even back up themselves without the help of the US. So this isn't helping anyone. If anything, it's dragging this conflict out longer. But now, a few days ago, things got even worse. Because Zelensky, man, I do not like Zelensky. At the beginning of this conflict, I respected him for staying in Ukraine and, not fleeing the country in ways that we see other world leaders flee their countries when they get invaded. But I really do not like this guy. He's really slimy and wormy, if you ask me, a snake. Look, I could go all day. But anyways, he was talking to French media. And mind you, we're in this time where everyone needs to be kind of careful with what they say. Because we want peace. Overall, that's what we want. We want peace. But Zelensky goes on the news in France and literally says it's a fact that Putin is going to die soon. So, I don't know why he said that. It's the wrong thing to say when trying to work out a peace deal. But he's basically alluding that he knows for a fact that Putin's going to die soon. So, what does he know that we don't know? Are they planning on trying to take him out? I don't know what they got going on. But he went on live television and said this. Let's go ahead and watch the clip.
І залежить від його років. Він помре скоро, це факт, і все закінчиться. Тобто його питання він може закінчити до того, як він, скажімо так, закінчить своє абсолютно безпечне і невдале історичне життя. І ось чого він боїться.
Now that's a really bold thing to say. And it sounds like something you would say if you have some sort of knowledge of a plot to try to take out Putin, right? Well, lo and behold, today, a few hours ago, I don't know when you're watching this video, it started getting reported that Putin's limousine exploded. Now, this news was kind of like a slow burner. I saw reports of it. I wasn't so confident that it was true. But it slowly started spreading. I started seeing certain media outlets pick up on it. A lot of major outlets at the time of this recording haven't acknowledged it yet. But when I saw this, immediately I thought of what Zelensky said a few days ago. But also, just judging by the reaction, I figured that this is not true, right? Now, a limousine did explode. At first, they reported it was Putin's limousine. But then they changed it up and said, oh no, it's not Putin's limousine. It was a limousine that was part of his motorcade. And I've been looking into it, folks. And I cannot for a 100% fact at the time of this recording confirm that that is true or not. I think there's a possibility that this car that exploded in Russia has nothing to do with Putin. But for whatever reason, certain media outlets are picking up on it. And what I say for whatever reason, but I feel like it may be getting spread as propaganda. Because, listen, in a sensitive time like this, world leaders are very aware of the words that they're using. So Zelensky was very aware of the type of reaction people would have to him saying, oh, Putin's going to die soon. It's a fact, right? That's a bold statement. And that statement, it holds weight and people are going to react to it. So now that I'm looking at this, oh, the limousine exploded, it was Putin's. I'm starting to wonder if this is some sort of propaganda, maybe to send a message to Putin like, hey, yeah, we know this wasn't your limousine, but it could be. You know what I mean? Or is this some sort of way that they're trying to spread social contagion? Spark the idea in people's minds that, hey, maybe you could blow up Putin's limo. You know what I mean? I really feel like 4D chess is being played here. I know for a fact that's not Putin's limo. Putin was not inside. There would be a very different reaction right now if that was the case. All hell would already be breaking loose. But even if this was just part of Putin's motorcade, I think we would have seen a bigger response. So right now, I feel like what we're seeing is, and I feel like some media outlets are picking up on this story, not really realizing that they're being used right now to spread this propaganda. I feel like this is propaganda to send a message to Putin, but also to kind of place the idea in people's minds that, hey, maybe you could do something like this to Putin. And the reason why I feel like this is propaganda, the reason why I feel so strongly about this is because I pay attention to propaganda. When you look at a military conflict, or you look at really anything, you got to learn what is propaganda, what's the truth. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference, right? But just today, as this story was spreading about Putin's limo exploding, there's also stories spreading around about him being really ill. He's really sick. He's got all of these health issues. And it just all looks coordinated to me. And once again, I don't know if this is just propaganda to make people feel like Putin is weakened, to make it look like Putin is vulnerable, or that people could get to Putin if they want to. I'm not sure what it is, but it's something. It's something for sure. There's something more behind the scenes when you start seeing a coordinated effort of all of this news coming out. And, you know, the fact that Zelensky just said, oh, Putin's going to die soon, it's a fact. It makes you wonder, like, are you setting up the premise for something to happen to him? You're already putting the articles out there, oh, Putin's really sick, oh, this is that. So if something happens and Putin gets poisoned and he drops dead, it's going to be, oh, he was so sick, he was hiding these health issues for years, right? So who knows what's going on here for sure, but there's something going on. And we know for sure it's not Putin inside the limo. So there's something else to this story. But like I said, I've been paying attention to the propaganda, especially when it comes to this conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And if you really want to know what's going to happen next, if you want to know what moves the government is going to make, if you want to know what moves the military is going to make, pay attention to the propaganda first. Because before you see military action, you're going to see propaganda spread to gain the support of the people for said military action. And right now, all over Europe, they're preparing people with propaganda. Propaganda getting people ready for war with Russia. Now they're saying that, oh, we're just preparing you for just in case Russia invades. You know, we're preparing the people of Poland just in case Russia invades Poland. We're preparing the people of France just in case Russia invades France. That's what they're telling their population, but in reality, the plan is much different. They're not worried about Russia invading. No, they plan on waging full war with Russia, you know, via Ukraine or on Ukrainian territory. That's what their plans are. Okay? But the propaganda is being spread, and you can see it on social media. These large accounts on X, some of them I think are even bots. They're starting to drum up the war drums. They're starting to try to gain support of young British men to get ready to go and fight. They're starting to try to drum up the support of young men in France to get ready. You know, vive la resistance, we must take on the Russians. I kid you not, if you look on social media and if you're paying attention and if you're in the right corners of the internet, you can see this propaganda starting to be spread. It's no different than World War II. It's just now it's on, you know, X and Facebook and Instagram instead of posters plastered on walls and, announcements via the radio. Here's just 2 posts that really stick out to me, for example. As a British citizen, I just want to say something. I'd rather die in a nuclear fireball than let some Russian see you next Tuesday tell us what we can and can't do. F Putin. F his red lines. F his demands. We are the effing British, the main bastards, and we have nukes too. And here's another one. Dear Donald Trump, Britain here. I'm here to inform you that we are going into Ukraine. And if Putin kicks off, we're going to absolutely effing dismantle him. This is your last invite. Join now, or you can't come later for all the fun. You see you next Tuesday. King regards, the British. Now, do you think there are real British people that are just posting this? This is their opinion. They just decided that they're so passionate about the war in Ukraine that they're ready to go balls to the wall crazy. Yeah, send the troops in. Let's fight Putin. No, folks. These aren't real opinions. Now, the people posting this stuff may be real people. It's probably not bots. But these aren't real opinions. What people need to understand is that these big social media accounts, they're all paid to have and spread certain opinions. Doesn't matter who they are. Right-wing influencers, left-wing influencers, all of your favorite political influencers, all of the people who chime in on world events, all of these people with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, all of them are on someone's payroll. I hate to break it to you. I know you're sitting there thinking, oh, not my favorite one. Oh, not this guy. Yeah, that guy, all of them. Once you make it to a certain point, you're on someone's payroll. You don't make it to a certain point without being on someone's payroll. That's the reality behind the scenes. So everyone is spreading propaganda. Now, mind you, there's different propaganda out there because certain people are on different payrolls. So, like the Russian-Ukraine conflict, you'll have some people who are paid to post pro-Russian stuff. Then you'll have people who are paid to post pro-Ukraine stuff. But one thing I know for sure, if you understand history and if you understand, these various military conflicts that we've seen in the past, is that the propaganda comes first, then the war comes second. And the propaganda is at an all-time high. And the propaganda is not just, support Ukraine. The propaganda has switched, it's changed in recent weeks and months to, we need to go into Ukraine, send the troops in, let's go. So sadly, what's going to happen here is the UK is going to hype up all of their young British men to go off to war with Russia. And then they're going to replace them with a bunch of immigrants from other countries as their young British men die on the front lines for no freaking reason. That is what is going to happen here. The same thing goes with France. They're going to send their own population out to fight and die, and then they're going to replace those populations with people from other various parts of the world. That's what the plan is. Just point blank period. We could sit here and we could shy away from it. That's the plan. That's why the UK and France, they're so gung-ho. Because they know who they're going to send to fight. It's not going to be the people that they're bringing in from all over the world. No, it's going to be the young British men. The young people that are actually from France with French blood flowing through their veins. That's who they're going to send to fight. They're going to send them to fight and die off so they can quickly replace them in the way that they're already trying to replace them. So if you're wondering, why do they want war so much? That's one of the reasons. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. You guys let me know what you think about this down below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so via Cash App or Super Thanks. And with that, I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.